Hi, everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw for LOM, the Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first, and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description, and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. So also, yeah, if anybody's watching, this is for me. I'm drawing this for myself, so I know some of you can't see it. Don't worry, you'll see when you get to the Sharpie portion, and you should probably jump to that if you don't want to watch me just sketching it out, because I gotta get the placement right before I worry about details. Like right now, I realize he's a little short, so let me make it bigger. I can draw a little bit bigger because I had the head way down low, and I've got a lot of room to play with, you know. So I'm gonna make his head just a slightly bigger, and that'll give me a little bit of room to action pose it. Now, I know, he's a robot. No action pose, right? No, we're gonna make him kind of an action pose. And what I mean by that is I'm gonna tilt him, you know? Like, I'm moving his body the way it would if he was more action. And so, we don't know anything about him. You know, we just see that picture in Empire Strikes Back, and he looks awesome. He's a cool cat. But that's all we know, right? So we don't know if he jumps around, if he moves robotically like C-3PO or whatnot, you know? So I'm kind of playing around with the idea that he is more articulated, a little faster. I mean, we saw K2SO, he's got some good movement, you know? So I'm kind of thinking of it like that. I'm thinking of a you know, more of a, I wouldn't say action, but a little more fluid character than just, you know, a static C-3PO type kind of character. Now, I'm going to draw him holding his gun, his big old weapon, his big old blaster, and that's going to cover up some of the stuff I was going to do here, but not all of it. But still, it's positioning that's really going to sell this, you know? But, you know, as a matter of fact, I could have sworn somebody made an awesome comic with some of the characters, like for LOM or Zuckuss, you know, as a pair type kind of thing. I could have sworn somebody did, but I'm drawing a blank right now, so I'm not too sure. And also, let's talk about that. What do you call it? Do you call him for LOM? Do you call him for LOM? I think it was Foosh. I can't remember who did, but somebody posted a video, an old commercial, or maybe it was somebody else. But anyway, they posted an old commercial that showed the guy calling it for LOM. And so I think that's why I've always called him for LOM. And I'm talking about old, you know, I'm an old man. I was around for the original. I'm talking that old. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm getting it from. But you know what? You call them whatever you want. I mean, it should be. I look at it this way: until they tell us what an acronym for LOM stands for, like if it's you know, large orientated, you know what I mean, something like that, or anagram. I guess is that what it is? That's what the letters stand for. I don't know. I'm not a speaker. But anyway, until someone tells us that, I'm calling them for LOM. That's what I've always called them. And hey, I could be wrong. 100% I could be wrong. But again, doesn't matter. Okay, so let me get some features here, kind of solidify a few things. Little fly head, right? That's what it looks like. But I guess that's kind of the trick, is how to not make him look like a fly. You know, how do you make him look like an alien bug man? Who's super close to Zuckus though, you know? Oh, and that was another thing in the old commercials. They messed it up. They switched their names up. Or maybe it was the back of the, I don't know. I'm getting into way more detail than I really need to. I think that's good, and I think I'm going to use a ruler for the gun here, just to maybe give it some straighter edges. We'll see. So yeah, let me erase some of these sketch lines and then we'll get going, because this actually worked out pretty well. The sketch got me there, so I don't really need to worry about too many details. I just want to take away some of these sketch lines. When I first started drawing, I was just drawing real lightly, and those are my sketch lines, and as I got more confident, I pressed a little harder and those came out darker, so those are my confidence lines. What I'm doing now is erasing the sketchiness and keeping the confidence. And that's how you live your life. Get rid of your sketchiness and keep your confidence. So I'm just lightly erasing, and if you're drawing with me, don't erase. You just, use your pencil, keep going, or switch over to Sharpies. But I'm just trying to say, if you're going to draw with pencil, you don't have to erase. I'm just erasing because I want my Sharpie to stand out, not my pencil line. So I say we get going, and welcome everybody that skipped. Welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Because I do a different drawing every day, you can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, maybe a ruler, mostly the fine point, but a pencil finer than the fine point. You can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to guide me. Now, I'm going to just jump right in with the Sharpie fine point because I can control the line widths much better. But his head is such a crazy old mess. We're just going to draw all kinds of crazy stuff in here. So I'm just going to start off with this little circular vent hole speaker column thing. Don't know what it is, but I'm going to draw it. So it's basically just circles, that's pretty it. That's pretty it. You hear that? That's how much of a speaker I am not. That's pretty it. Oof. I'm sorry. There's little dots inside there, but I think I'll do that with color. I think I'm going to leave it like it is and just kind of draw a smaller, thinner line around the edge. If you can. If not, don't worry about it. Like that. There you go. There's our center. What's it? Who's it? What are you going to call it? Right? And now, for the insides, I'm just going to draw like this strange bug thing, because it's got all kinds of crazy stuff inside here too. Maybe I'll do something like this. But same thing. It's almost like it needs to be done with color because it's so subtle and so bizarre. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to draw some of the other extra things, and I want to do it lightly because I didn't want it to stand out like a hard edge, like his little speaker thing here, his breather speaker thing. Well, I think I will darken in this edge just a little bit. Again, just to make it stand out that it's a hard edge as opposed to his strange alien face. I don't know. So he's got another one down here. Now you can kind of see the position that his head's going to be in, just pretty much dead on. So you're not too crazy. Okay, and I'm going to connect them with kind of a, kind of a weird little bug feature. And again, I don't know exactly what this is, just kind of drawing something. I mean, I've got the toys, I've got the Black Series figures. Still don't know what all this is, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at pictures, but I'm just saying that it doesn't matter. I didn't bust out the figure because there's no telling what this is. It's just cool creation. And that's what I really like about this guy. He's just really, really neat. For his eyes, we're going to kind of do something like this. I'm thickening up this edge to kind of make it stand out. And you know what? I'm going to thicken up the outer edges too, because when I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm starting to accent the edge just to kind of make it try to match what's going to happen with this. And for the eyes, like I said, it's got an edge, but it almost doesn't. Like it's got this, you know, weird segmented space. So I may want to do that with color, and then we're just gonna come out and do some stuff like this, some bumps, because that's where the edges of the eye, and it does like it all the way through. But again, I think it would look better if we do it with color, because that's kind of the tough thing about playing with a Sharpie, is you kind of have to determine like what you want to yell at you and what you want to be subtle. Sharpie yells at you. Sharpie is not subtle at all. So if it's a dark hard edge, use your Sharpie. If it's not, like in his eyes and whatnot, I kind of want to do it with color so it's not as predominant. Okay, so let's see. For his eyes, like I said, he's got this almost like it blends into the edge. There's not a hard edge like our eyelids are round like that, then there's the edge in the eye. He doesn't quite have that, so I kind of almost don't want to make it, you know? It's like I'd rather just have the weird bunch of pieces and parts that are in his head. And see, even like this, it's not it's not defined as one piece, you know? It's like a bunch of little weird alien segments, and that's what's really cool about these characters. But that's also the subtle feature that we need to try to do with the Sharpie, or with your pencil if you're working with pencil, you know? If you're working with pencil, you can go ahead and draw those eye lines. I'm going to do them with color, so you can just jump to that part, or wait till I get there. But like all this, there's these weird little, almost like a brain type weird parts, but I think that's all I want to do. I think I'm going to do the rest with color, so it'll stand out like that. So I'm jumping over to the big Sharpie for the rest of it. All right. Okay, so I've got him. Well, you saw the pose. You know where we're going with this. We just have to draw the robot type parts. So I'm going to draw his little chest, and I've got him kind of tilted this way. So I'm going to draw his neck like this to kind of define where my edges are. Draw a little bit of his little rivet. See, I'm gonna reference this a lot. His rivet C3PO neck, which is not really rivet. It's almost like a what do you call it? A ringed. I want to call it like a screwdriver. You know, like a what are the edges of a lid that you turn? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of when I see his neck. But see how thick this is? That's what I was talking about. That's why I wanted to match a little bit of this thickness just to make it match. You don't have to. Again, this is how I draw. These are how I use my Sharpies. You don't have to do that. I'm just explaining to you why I did that the way I did. Plus, it looks cool, you know? All right, so I'm going to draw him kind of tilted a little bit, so I'm going to draw his shoulder down this way. Draw this one like this, just to give you a position of the way I've got him just turned a little. And it's little things like that that make him kind of action, that make him, you know, more than just a stick figure C3PO style robot. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna draw this little front like that. I'm gonna go ahead and draw his shoulder pieces, because again, I know where it's gonna go according to my sketch. But also, I've got his gun pretty much in front of everything. So I kind of got to get to the gun, draw the gun, then I can draw what's behind, because you always draw what's in front first. That way, when you're drawing what's behind, you don't have to draw every single thing. You just draw what you can see. So I'm going to get down to the gun. So let's draw his arm like this. And he's got like these, let me draw this real fast. He's got these segmented, for lack of a better word, breasts. I don't know what this is. I really don't. But they're like these layered breasts. I don't know what to call them. But he's a bug robot, so they're not breasts. You know what I mean? So I don't know what I'm supposed to say here. Besides, it looks like layered, segmented breasts. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's what we're gonna call them. Let's see. Okay, and then this is gonna go around the circle. Now I'm gonna stop right there because that's where the gun's gonna be, but I just wanted to show you just a little bit of the edge here. Okay, so, and there's the circular part. I'm not going to worry about that till we get to the gun. Like I said, I got to draw the gun first. And I brought my ruler, but I don't know if I'm going to use it yet. I'm trying to decide. I'm going to draw his arm down a little bit, and so you can kind of get an idea of where his he's holding the gun. So he's got his little shoulder piece, C-3PO shoulder piece. Kind of comes like that. So you can see his arm, and I'm going to stop right about there because that's about where I'm going to do the gun. I'm just trying to show you it's coming down here, his elbow's around here, his forearm is coming down, something like this. And that's where we're going to start to draw robot parts, but this is where the gun's going to overlap the back of it too. So I'm going to draw his hand like this. This is the back of his hand, like that. And then his fingers are going to be on the trigger, like this, and then the other ones are kind of wrapped around too. Like that. Okay, so that'll give us at least a placement, and we'll get some more detail in a second. The placement for the gun. So now the gun is going to be, the handle's going to be in his hand, the trigger is going to be right there, and there's no trigger guard. We're just going to make it a big trigger open like that. Handle goes down like this. Now, let's do it. Let's go ahead and use a ruler just a little bit, just to kind of get an idea of where we're going with this. I've got his other hand over here, so I got to be careful not to draw too much. Isn't that crazy? We don't want to draw too much because I don't want to draw through it. Okay, like that, just to give me an idea, and I'm going to play around with these parts now. Okay, so now I'm just I'm going to shape it, reshape it too, because I want it to be more than just a straight piece across, you know? And let's see, once I draw his hand, maybe I'll continue that again. But for now, this will give us the gun, and we can build off this. So I'm gonna come back here, draw the back of it like that. And again, it's kind of over his arm, he's resting it. Maybe we'll just do the rest of it with, eyeball it, you know? That way we can play around with parts and make it, you know, at least some sort of I want to say like futuristic space type kind of weaponry, you know? And we'll add some details. Okay, but before we go any further, let's do this. Now I can draw everything else I was going to come down to because I know where the top is going to be, okay? So let's go ahead and continue what we're doing. So I'm going to draw the rest of his chest, coming down here like this. Let's see, this arm, here, let's finish this up. Let's keep going. And again, this one's coming in here like this. The elbow is going back like that. And you know what? He does have these little, what do you call them? Like pivot pieces that hold his arms together. Because C-3PO has them, so he's got some too. And let's see. I'm trying not to go too crazy with all the extra stuff. But again, he is a robot and he's got extra stuff. So, you know, I do want to draw a little bit of extra stuff. So like same thing for his arms. And it's like I want to do some stuff to make it stand out. Parts. Same thing with his fingers and it's all that stuff, you know, it's like, well, there's, you know, different things we can do, but it's pretty much just robot parts, you know? So I'm just kind of breaking it up by doing different things just to make it a little more robotish, I guess. Okay, so again, there's that circular thing on his stomach, so I'm gonna start it here and kind of build out. And it's not going to be perfect. I'm already okay with that. Something like this. Way not perfect, but that's okay, because it doesn't have to be, you know. Okay, and then more of his boobs on that. Again, I don't know what they are. I hate to say that they're breasts, because I know they're not. They're weird robot parts, you know. But because they're, you know, breastish, that's what it looks like to me. Okay. Oh, I should switch over. I don't know why I'm with the big Sharpie, the tiny Sharpie now. And all this is going to be like color and things like that. So, you know, I'm not too worried about putting extra robot parts on there. I'll do more on the gun in a second. Again, I just wanted to draw down to it. Okay. So his other shoulder, same thing. He's got the short sleeve C3PO short sleeve. And I'm just doing little things like this, just kind of break up the silhouette. It's not perfect, and it's not even on there, but it's little stuff like that that'll help break it up. And here, let's even do something here. You know, just to break up the edges of the silhouette. I even think he may even have more there, but I can't see it. We'll do more with color. We'll do more with color. So now this arm is going to come down, and same thing. I got to remember that there's that little pivot thing. So I'm going to come down here. There's the arm. It's going to stop right there for the forearm, which is going to go this way. So that means I want to do the pivot thing like this. I keep calling it the pivot thing, but that's not the word I'm trying to go for. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's not a pivot. It's a piston. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. A piston type cylinder, because it's connected and it opens and closes as his arm does as well. That's the word I'm looking for. But sometimes, no, a lot of the times I don't have words. I'm not a good speaker, which is a shame since I'm doing a speaking video, right? You would think that's part of the requirement, but guess what? Anybody can make a video. Anybody, even a non-speaker like me. That's the great thing about YouTube. All right. I stopped there because now we're to the gun. So now I want to draw his other fingers just kind of wrapped around. And so I'm just going to draw, I know where it's going to go. So I'm just going to draw like this, you know, that shape of the finger. Because I know it's just a robot hand, and I can add a little bit to it as I go. So now, here, let's do this. We'll just do like we did there, just some strange robot stuff. You know, just extra stuff, just so we know that's wrapped around. Now, the rest of his gun. So let's do this. How about we do, let's go and straighten that out since we know where it is, but I'm going to add some extra to it. We're going to do something like, let's see, this is coming through. And I'm eyeballing it. I'm saying, well, it looked about like it was going this way, so I'm going to continue it, and I'm going to start doing this. Just to add something, because it kind of has that, but not this dramatic. But because I can do that and I have a surface, I can kind of make up that there's some crazy stuff on here, you know? All right. I like that. Should we do the top like that too? I think so. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. I said I wasn't going to do it, but let's go ahead and do that because that was a fun little technique. So I'm going to bring this over, come in, hit it again. I'm gonna try to hit it where it did before, like I'm watching where I dipped. Yeah, so see, we got a cool looking gun like that. We'll add on to that in a second. But that was fun. I like that. And then we add like maybe some kind of edge, like a little Han Solo blaster type, where it kind of comes out a little bit, like that. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. Okay, there's a bottom part too, so let's add a little something down here. I'm just gonna come through here and we're gonna do something like this. It doesn't have to be too crazy. It's gonna connect it there. Oops, I moved my whole thing. Like that. Let's add this bottom edge. I'm gonna add that bump right there too, but I realize I can't do it unless I pick up my Sharpie. Okay, so now, let's draw this arm just from what you can see, and then we'll add details to that gun. So I'm moving towards the wrist. This you can't really see anyway, so we're gonna say that's where that is, like that. All right, so let's add some extra detail with this Sharpie. Now, I know we're kind of, hanging on the gun quite a bit, and I know I don't like to normally draw guns, but my excuse is laser pistol. I get away with drawing more if it's a laser pistol because it's not real. All right, so now I'm gonna play around with just like some different gun shapes. And again, the trick is, what I'm trying to do is make it look manufactured, because ideally, when it comes down to it, this is a manufactured laser pistol, This isn't something made in nature. This is something that it was bought, and it has functioning machine parts. That's how I kind of look at it. So, and I'm not really, saying, okay, it has to be perfect like this. I'm just kind of playing around with some of the shapes it might have, just to break up the negative space and play around with who knows what this is. All right, so there you go. I've got to walk away from the gun because I can keep doing different details to it all day long. I need to stop because we got more to go. So his waist kind of goes through here, so it's kind of cut off. We don't see it. That's where all his robot parts are, and so now you can see his hips, right? So we're gonna say it comes down here like this. Then the wires and all that'll be down there, and I'm gonna draw his crotch piece like this. Okay, and his legs are gonna come through like that, and then his legs are obviously big robot parts over, bigger than this, over all the wires and stuff like that connect them right there. So I'm gonna draw down like this, and then I'm gonna try to attempt his round leg, a round knee. Okay, so it kind of goes something like this, and then it goes around in such a big, gigantic, exaggerated piece. Okay, so let me add a little bit of, and there's a lot of detail in this. So it's like I should do most of it with color, but I want to do some with this Sharpie, so we do get that robotic manufactured look. Okay, And so I'm going to draw like a little circle here. So that's basically what it's based on. And then everything else is kind of going around it. And see, still not perfect, but I am okay with that. 100%. Okay, so let's see. The other part is going to come through here and go up. Oh, and here I go with the small Sharpie again. I'm supposed to be drawing with big Sharpie. All right, so I'm just trying to give it some kind of like metal parts for the inside right there. Oh, and so robot legs and wires and whatnot, I'm going to do that with color. Not even going to worry about that right now. Let's do the other one too so you can see where we are. So this one, same thing. It's going to kind of flare out a little bit. Up and over, come down. And this one, in the front, we're going to do like that. Okay, same thing. I'm going to worry about that with color. Oh, now he does have some layers to this, kind of a little style to it. And is there, yeah, there's a little bit more. Something like that. Again, there's a lot of lines in here, and I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to do a few. Again, to give it that robotic manufactured look. Plus a lot of them look cool too. So I kind of feel like we need to. Let's see, I see some over here. Looks like there's one down the middle like that. Again, not very necessary, but it helps to give it that look. I mean, he's got that robotic look already, so you know, I think it's worth it. Okay, so now we got both legs. Now this one, the knee, you can see the front of. We're just gonna, you're looking more at the front, so it's just kind of the circles back there like that. Okay, so let me draw these edges, kind of define a few more. Because with the black Sharpie, with the big fat one like that, you kind of put emphasis on certain parts. You know, that's what I like about the thick and the thin, is you kind of say, okay, this should stand out, this shouldn't, things like that, you know? Okay, oh, and you know what? Also, I forgot, like C-3PO, he's got those little, who knows what they are, but they're floating off the side right here. You ever notice that on C-3PO? You can't see this one because it's on that side, but there are these weird little like screwdrivers that are just hanging off the side of his leg. Cool. Don't know what they're for, but cool. All right, so we need to finish this up. So, and the rest of it's pretty much just robot legs. So, coming in like this, and closing it off like this. I'm going to go ahead and just draw it in. So, pretty basic. I'll add some detail in a second. Let's just draw like the front view of this one. Like that, same thing. Just gonna draw the shoulder, the ankle like that. Draw the front of the foot. Now I add some detail here. Okay, so same thing like the top of the leg. I just want to draw just a little bit of the detail in the front. Because again, it gives it like that cool little extra robot feature, you know? And same thing for his foot. We're just going to draw a few of the lines. Just to kind of help define his edges here. Because there's not much to it. I mean, it's pretty much just lines like that. Which again, we could probably do with color. So I'm just kind of making up a little bit of extra line here. Again, just for that cool robot look, you know? Same thing. And there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is LOM from Star Wars. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.